You've been told to rewrite your past so that you can create your dream life in the future. But I'll show you that you don't really have to do this. And instead of rewriting your old story or revising your past every night, and instead of trying to fix your past, we're going to drop it altogether. If you find yourself reliving the same situations and circumstances, dating the same people and repeating the same patterns, it's because you are stuck in the past, in your mind and in your body. I'm an emotional mastery coach in manifestation, and I will show you how this is the case for you without you even realizing that. We are going to talk about what even is past and how we can dismantle it in its very core, so we can embrace the unknown where unlimited things are possible. And we don't have to bother ourselves with changing our old false story into a new false story that is a little bit more favorable. This is not required for you to manifest the life you love. If I see one more spiritual or manifestation video that claims that past doesn't exist, I will lose my mind. Because can we please stop talking about abstract concepts that have nothing to do with our experience without explaining it experientially? Thank you.
Thank you!
Because right now, you're probably hearing two completely different things. On one hand, people tell you to revise your past so that you can change your future. And on the other hand, they tell you that the past doesn't exist at all. And before, I really couldn't understand what you mean that there is no past because it feels so real. And I was only frustrated because it was just too abstract for me to understand. What do you mean that there is no past? I have lots of really unpleasant memories on speed dial that prove to me that the past is real. And if it's true that it's just an illusion, then why does it feel so real? It's because past leaves its tracks in your mind and also in your body. In your mind, as memories, which are simply thoughts that we can easily recall, we can revoke something that happened yesterday, a week ago, even a decade ago. And also in your body as emotions that are the artifacts of the past events, which is just like stored experience in your tissues. So emotions are the past, still alive in your body. And when you think about something and when you feel emotion about this thing from the past, your body is literally reliving that experience right now. You're not really remembering the past, you're re-experiencing it. And that's why we keep attracting the same situations and the same people. And that's why we react to things the same way. And that's also why nothing changes and why we can't manifest what we want. Because we are biologically stuck in the past. So yes, past does exist. We have lots of proof about this. But if it exists this way, if it's in our mind and in our body, then we can control it and just simply drop it. So here is why I think that the revision is a waste of time. And I know that great many content creators and coaches really push this technique as a way to manifest, to tinker with your past and change your memories and so on. I know that the great Neville Goddard also recommended it a lot. But I have a few things to say about this. I've done a lot of revising night after night with some guided revision here on YouTube, but also on my own. And sometimes it gave me some relief, but it's just yet another thing that I was just occupying myself not to feel what is here. It's just our mind's tendency to fix things, to do, to rewrite things instead of feeling what is here and now. But here's the truth. Firstly, you're not broken. So that's number one, okay? And secondly, you don't actually remember your past, but you experience your current relationship to your past. Let me repeat this. It's not your past you're remembering, but you're experiencing emotional reaction as you currently relate to your past. It's how you feel about your past. Any memories about the past are speculative, partial, and just incomplete. In short, they're made up. So why do we focus on changing something that we can't even remember correctly? Our version of our childhood is different right now than it was 10 years ago, and it's going to be also different 10 years from now. And the moment you believe that your past is creating your present and your future, you are making yourself a powerless victim. So if it's not about fixing or revising, then what is it about? What do we do? Instead of revising every night, release your emotions as they come up. Your thoughts come from the emotional state that you are in. First, you feel something, then you enter a state, and this state generates the thoughts that, just flood your mind. It's because your nervous system is constantly scanning your body and giving the information to your brain to kind of assess what sort of situation are you in. And if those emotions are still there, your body still thinks that you are in danger in survival mode. Oi, brain? Yeah, it's your boy, Vagus Nerve here. Yeah, I guess we're still in survival mode. I sense some fear trapped here in the solar plexus area. So go ahead and send some anxious thoughts. Copy. So it creates the same reality over and over again. When you release the emotions, you release the past. So all of us are only living in the present moment. And that's the only moment in which we can intervene. So you don't really have to uncover your entire past and history to feel free, because all you need is awareness and practice of emotional release time after time. So, as a former overthinker, I would constantly live in my head. When I went to therapy and my therapist was asking me, what are you feeling? Where do you feel it in your body? Not only I didn't know what I'm feeling, but also it felt so abstract to me. I was like, a lady, what do you mean? Where do I feel it in my body? Like my emotions are literally just some wisps of magic in my brain. They're not in my body. What are you talking about? So I would tend to talk to many different friends about the same story, repeating it over and over again and reliving the same experience as I was yapping about that. And every time I did that, I was feeling rejected, not chosen, and blaming others for how I feel. And this way, I manifested a couple of breakups. But instead of trying to kind of revise it and pretend that it didn't happen, I embraced that and tried to learn from it and give to the parts of me that were rejected the love and acceptance that they came here for. And this way, I deactivated it. And I did that by coming back to my true self, which is awareness. And I was able to let the emotion go and drop the past as well, and never let it define me right now or my future ever again. So, no, you don't have to revise or pretend that something didn't happen. You just don't let your present moment to be defined. You just learn to release these emotions that still dictate your future by being stuck in your body as past. So here are a few signs that you might be still living in the past. For example, when we ruminate the same emotions and the same thoughts over and over again, when we keep attracting the same situations, circumstances, and people into our life, when we keep reacting negatively to the lack of our desires in the 3D when we manifesting them. And the most subtle one that not many people mention is that you're actually not manifesting what you want. That also means that, your nervous system is still wired in the past, not allowing the new future because it doesn't feel safe. So please stop trying to think your way into your dream reality. Feel it. Drop into your body. Use your memories as pointers only, not to analyze, but to feel, because they will always lead you to the experience, to the initial experience that made that emotion get stuck in your body. When there is a thought, it will lead you to an emotion, and then it will lead you to the sensation in your body. And that is your golden ticket, because now you know where it lives and you can release it. And when you do that, when you catch yourself time after time, this is you building awareness and also building this body awareness, reconnecting with your body instead of looking at it as something that prevents you from being a spiritual, magical self. It is your vehicle in this world that allows this experience to be experienced. This is where everything changes. And maybe it's not as magical as, here's a technique that will manifest in 24 hours. This is real practice. This is where you will come back to time and time again and get real results for the rest of your life, not just something out of the blue by accident. And then when you do that, when you are in the sensation in your body, ask yourself, when was the first time I felt this way? Your body will want to tell you a story of a little you that didn't get what they wanted, felt rejected or abandoned, and had to deal with the situation the best they could to survive and meet that version of yourself. That is your vulnerability. Give them what they didn't get the last time. Love, acceptance, understanding. Shower yourself with love. Tell this part of yourself, it wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. And then there is also the other side of this coin, which is the protector. And to the protector, we say, you don't have to work this hard anymore. I've got this. We are safe. That is how you drop the past. Not by pretending it didn't happen, not by thinking we are leaving the head, but by feeling and dropping into your body. And maybe you have to repeat this practice a couple of times, and that's okay. That's why it's a practice. You get better at this over time. The bad story will come back like a habit does. When you set yourself free from your past, with this practice time after time, you are removing the blocks that are between you and your manifestations. Because this is the only thing that is stopping you from experiencing your desires. The nervous system not being expanded enough to accept this into your experience. This is how you make it feel safe to receive what you are calling in. All of this is possible because of who you really are, which is awareness of being. All of this is possible because of your true nature, because you're not just this human with the story. You're not the ego. You are awareness. And awareness is never affected by the past or current events in your life. And it's also not affected by feeling. So we don't have to avoid it anymore. It's not going to kill us. It's perfectly safe to feel. So how is that it feels so scary to drop the old story, the past, and all the mechanisms that no longer serve us? It is because we are emotionally attached to our past, to the reality that we want to change. We are too invested in maintaining these old mechanisms, but not making a choice to change it is also a choice. And it doesn't make these things go away. They will be there regardless if you are tackling that or not and living with it. To drop the past is to drop the thoughts about it, because we never have thoughts in the present moment. Tell me if you have any thoughts about present moment. There are only thoughts in the past and there are only thoughts in the future, but not in the present. In the present moment, there is only awareness. You can always choose again on moment-to-moment basis, asking yourself, who am I being right now? Am I someone who lives in the now and makes my decisions so that I get closer to my dream reality? Or am I stuck in some past version of myself, repeating the same story over and over again? And from this place, every single moment becomes a new opportunity for reset, for a new story to unfold. As awareness, you are not scared to feel what comes up with releasing the past. These vulnerabilities will come up to the surface for your love and acceptance. So you see, all of this is really practice of love. Coming back to love, to awareness, because love heals all and you are always safe. So no, you don't have to fix your past. You don't have to revise it. You drop it by living in the now, by releasing emotion time after time. When you free your body from this emotional memory and your mind from identification, you stop repeating the same patterns. And eventually, you may forget that the past used to define you. You are deciding on moment-to-moment basis who you are, because your brain is going to let go of the things that you no longer revisit. And if you need some help with releasing these emotions experientially, I created the Nervous System Expansion. It's a course with over 4 hours of content with somatic practices where we tackle not only the mind and the techniques, but also the body. It's a safe way for you to release your emotions, something that nobody teaches us, but something that serves us for the rest of our lives. The link is in the description. And you can watch this video next if you would like to learn EFT tapping for manifestations if you experience doubt and anxiety around your manifestations.